On this edition of One Brooklyn, Borough President Adams and Mayor Bill de Blasio wrap up City Hall and your Borough Week with a very special announcement. The Friendship Arch in Sunset Park to be built on 8th Avenue near 60th Street. In a community that's believed to be the largest Chinese population outside of China, this arch will be a welcome celebration of heritage for the community, but also a tourist destination as well, bringing many visitors to this part of Brooklyn. Mayor Bill de Blasio, Borough President Adams, and other local elected officials joined with the community for this grand announcement.
Hello, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Brooklyn Chinatown. I am so thrilled to welcome everyone here today, and especially honored to welcome our mayor to Sunset Park. He is always to be a tremendous friend on our community. And my name is Louis Liu, and I have been active members of the community for over 10 years. I am currently vice president of the Brooklyn Community Improvement Association. And then we all know the 8th Avenue community is the fast-growing home for Asian American and the Chinese American family. So it is only fitting the 8th Avenue to be the future site of the Friendship Arch. A gift from the Beijing and Chaoyang's district. The arch would welcome local residents and the visitor to Sunset Park, Chinatown, and serves as the bridge between the Beijing and New York City. In China, there are many archways positioned at the entrance to the major urban street and the temple or park and the government offices. But New York City is the ultimate city in immigrants, and it is make a perfect sense for us to have our own arch too, right? So the archway was structured to act across 8th Avenue and stand out for the vibrant colors. It is be over the 40 feet high, and with a blue and indigo colors tower and the image of the medical creatures and the former temple of the heaven in Beijing. Across of the middle area of the arch, there will be a Chinese incident, 它叫做四海一家在中间. And across the yeah, right. I figured it out. Yeah, okay, all right. And the translator to say as the one family over 4 seas, right? And as well, and the English inscriptions they say is Brooklyn, Beijing, Chaoyang, right? So Mayor de Blasio says he understands immigrants and the Chinese American community have helped make it the New York City what it is today, and I am grateful for his commitment to this project, as well as the support of the Brooklyn Borough President Adams and anyone else here today who has helped make this possible. This is a testament to endurance bond between our two countries and between New York City and Beijing. The Friendship Arch is something that every New Yorker from every corner of the city can be proud of. And as now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce our great mayors of the New York City, Bill de Blasio.
Well, Louis, thank you. First of all, I gotta say, Louis, you have done amazing work for this community. I've watched for a long time. I know this is a really important day for you, but it really symbolizes what you have done and so many other great community leaders have done to make this neighborhood something wonderful for all of New York City. Let's thank Louis for everything he has done. So this is a wonderful day, a day of celebration. We're acknowledging a great community. We're acknowledging our extraordinary connection to a great nation far away. And it's something that allows us to appreciate, as Louis said, we're proud to be the ultimate city of immigrants. We're proud of what all the different communities of this city have contributed, and this is another way of showing it. I want to say before I go any further, we have two special guests, and they are people we honor. They are powerful symbols to this city for their dignity and their grace, even in the midst of adversity, and we feel for them to this day. And they're a great example of immigrants who came to this city and gave us so much. I want to thank the parents of Detective Wen Jianlu, who are with us, his mother, Xiao Yan Li, and his father, Wen Tan Lu, for all that they have done, and I want them to know we will stand with them always. God bless you. God bless you. I have to say at the outset as well, this announcement came as a result of a lot of work, of such a good, noble idea, but it took a lot of work to put it together, an extraordinary amount of work. And you're going to hear from Borough President Eric Adams in a moment, but I have to tell you, he has been extraordinary in his perseverance. He raised the idea, and he raised it again, and he raised it again, and he raised it again, and he kept saying, this is something we have to get done for this neighborhood, for this borough. And I'm going to tell you the truth, Eric Adams does not like bureaucracy when bureaucracy stops good things from happening. So he kept pushing, rightfully so. But the city agencies, many agencies had to get involved in figuring out how to do this. And they got together and they worked it through. I want to particularly thank representing the Department of Transportation, the Borough Commissioner Keith Bray, and I want to thank our Commissioner for the Mayor's Office of International Affairs, Penny Abiwardena. Let's give them a big round of applause for all their work bringing us to this day. We also have been working great coordination with the Consul General's Office of China for their real cooperation in this effort. We thank you. We have here from the Consul General's Office, Consul Zhuyong, I'm going to try my best, Zhuyong Zhou, I hope I'm saying that right, and Vice Consul Liwa Li, and we thank them and their whole team for their great work on this effort. Let's give them a big round of applause. And finally, all the community leaders who are here, everyone who participated, thank you very much for your vision, for your commitment. And someone who helped to get the ball rolling a long time ago and is in the hearts of all of us as Brooklynites, former Borough President Marty Markowitz. Thanks for helping to get the ball rolling on this great. Dreams do come true, Marty, especially in Brooklyn. So here's something we don't acknowledge often enough, because this city, you know, when you think about a lot of different communities in this city, we have the largest community, for some nations, the largest community outside their nation. I see Diana Reyna is here with us, and for example, New York City has the largest Dominican community outside the Dominican Republic. That's one example. But what is important to note is that New York City has the largest Chinese population of any city outside of Asia. It's right here in New York City. And we want to honor the amazing contributions of the Chinese community here in our city. And what's amazing is the community's big, and in a lot of boroughs, and it's made a big contribution, but one thing's been missing all along, which is a friendship arch. And it's funny, you go to some other cities and you see one. You go to some cities that have a much smaller Chinese population and you see one. How is it possible we didn't have one here? Well, it's time to get it right. And it's time to recognize their contributions by putting up this beautiful symbol. Eric Adams understood from the beginning that this would send a message about the community all over the city. But being a good Brooklynite, he wanted to make sure that everyone understood that in Brooklyn, this Chinese community has grown to such an extraordinary extent, and Sunset Park and the surrounding area are now a major, global, in fact, Chinese community right here. This was the right place on 8th Avenue to have this arch. And I want to say at the beginning, We really appreciate, we've had great cooperation, and a particular thanks for the gracious gift from the Chaoyang district in Beijing that made this possible, and we're so happy and so appreciative of their support. When this is completed in the next couple of years, this will become a site that people come to from all over the city, and the inscription, as you heard from Louis, is just beautiful. It's so simple. It says, 4 C's, 1 family. 4 C's, 1 family, which is another way of saying we are all one human family. And it's a great, great message. And what better place to have that message than in New York City, and particularly in Brooklyn, which is the ultimate example of all of humanity coming together and living in harmony. It's not perfect harmony, but it's pretty amazing what we do in Brooklyn every single day. And we want to send that message to the whole world. So this is a wonderful moment because we're announcing something great, but it also is a special moment for Eric and I because we've had a great week together in Brooklyn, City Hall in your Borough Week. We're concluding it on a high note. We made a lot of major announcements that are going to have a big impact on Brooklyn. My deputy mayors and commissioners have been crisscrossing Brooklyn and following up on a lot of the concerns of the borough president and a lot of other elected officials and community leaders. So this has been a great week, and what a great way to end it. But what we do when we have these weeks is we emphasize as a city of 5 boroughs. And every borough matters, every neighborhood matters, every New Yorker matters. And that's why we're going to make sure that our government continues to connect to the grassroots, listen to what people need, listen to great ideas like the idea for this arch. Not, say we reject them out of hand or they're too complicated. Actually listen to communities and find creative ways to do things that will make people's lives better and to celebrate our communities. So that's what it's all about. With that, I want to introduce the man of the hour because, boy, he could not have worked harder for this. And he burned up my phone line many, many a time. Your borough president, Eric Adams.
Thank you. I want to thank the mayor, Deputy Commissioner Trottenberg, Public Design Commission, Community Board.
I'm defending you.
I know you got my back.
I got your back.
Brooklyn Community Board 7, Sino-American, Brooklyn Chinese community, and our sister city. And clearly, this is government in perfection. Because of the continuation of a seed that was planted during the previous administration. Borough President Marty Markowitz planted the seed. It was my responsibility and obligation not to cut down that seed, but to continue to water and nurture it and allow it to grow into full fruition as we're experiencing here today with this rich community. The mayor is right. The Chinese community in New York City is the largest Chinese community outside of Asia. And after my 6 visits to China and interacting with the Chinese community and finding out their love of not only New York City in general, but specifically in their love of the borough of Brooklyn. This is a place where the Chinese community calls home, as well as many other ethnic groups. 47% of Brooklynites speak a language other than English at home, and the Chinese community is one of those most important languages. This is a significant moment, and to those outside this community, on first brush, it may not seem like, well, what is the big deal? It is a big deal. We're going to have a 9-roof arch in Brooklyn. This is the first arch that's in New York City. It has been tried for so many years. 9 roofs, it's an empirical status. It is status that is given to the most significant area. And if we're in Brooklyn, it had to be of that magnitude. I cannot say enough about what Deputy Borough President Diana Rayner did, who really took this ball from beginning to end and really used her experience as a former city council person and knowing how to navigate the complexities of bureaucracy that's in government that sometimes don't fully understand what the voice and the people are hearing on the ground. And when we hit a brick wall, a brick wall that was longer and higher than the Great Wall of China. We needed to get directly to the ears of the mayor of the city of New York, who listened and saw the reasoning of why can't we show this significant moment here in this city. It was so important to have a mayor that understood. He's sending a message to this Chinese community throughout the city. You no longer have to live in the shadows of the American dream. It started with the passing of legislation that acknowledged your New Year's as a holiday. It's continuing to the Archway, and it's continuing to how this community is no longer relegated to the sidelines of American prosperity. Right here in the city of New York, you are very much part of the American dream, and you are going to have the edifice, the acknowledgement, and those things that are important. And I cannot say enough, and I'm sure Marty and I both would agree, the women who helped her, Winnie Greco. We cannot say Shay enough. She allowed us to fully understand and immerse ourselves into this culture and figure out how do we make this happen. This is a great moment for the Chinese community of New York City and New York State, if not America. This is an opportune time to do great things. And as the mayor alluded to, that archway is going to be like a magnet. As soon as I got off the car, the first thing I did, I went and bought some mushrooms that I had in China. This is what we're hoping for. We're hoping when people come here to take a picture at the only 9-roofed archway in this country, that they would stop and they would shop, that they would spend money, that they would look to develop and have hotels and other great things in this community. As this community continues to thrive and grow, we want them to come and spend their money here. The millions of tourists that we receive in this country, in this state, in this city, we want them to come to our Chinatown and have this great experience. And so that's why we commend the community board and our great partner in this initiative, Carlos Menchaca, for giving us the assistance that we needed to move this to the next level. And as long as I talk about this archway, I want to end on what the mayor indicated. I am going to always refer this archway in the name of Officer Liu. Because Officer Liu, when he lost his life, he gave the most precious gift any American can give to this country. And this family gave us their son. And with the pain that came with that is the purposeful life that the Chinese community gave their child who gave their life. They have a right now to and always be a part of the American dream. The blood and soil of Officer Liu feeds the tree that shades the American freedom that we experience. And this, in my mind, will always be Officer Wen-James Liu Archway. It is a contribution and dedication to this fine police officer and what he has done and what he will continue to do. Great day for the Chinese community. Great day for the Borough of Brooklyn. Great day for the city of New York. We cannot thank the mayor of the city of New York enough. Thank you, Bill de Blasio.
As you heard from the borough president, we had tremendous support and cooperation and persistence, as always, from Councilmember Carlos Menchaca. So we celebrate him today as well. Councilmember Menchaca.
Thank you. Thank you. And Daja Hao. My name is Carlos Menchaca, or Wan Jijia, and I'm really excited to be here, not only to celebrate this moment, and also remember everyone from the Borough President, Marty Markowitz, to Borough President Eric Adams, and now our mayor and all his commissioners, including not only the Department of Transportation, all the agencies that came together. Here's my note that I want to make today. That friendship that we have is not just coming to us and manifested through this archway, a physical structure. It's coming from us. And so much of this community continues to be manifested all the time. This is a community that civically participates more every single year. Participatory budgeting, for example, something that this incredible borough president, Eric Adams, brings funding to to allow for communities like this, like the Chinese community, in their own language, to vote in their own language, to participate in their own language, brings capital projects from the city. That's already been happening. This archway manifests the cultural significance of the Chinese community, but they've already been doing it. And I'm going to continue to work with you and the Deputy Borough President and everyone that wants to allow for our communities, as the mayor said, to bring us those ideas and to creatively respond and say yes to that, remove that red tape, and allow these beautiful things to manifest. That is the beauty of today. That is what we celebrate. And I'm so happy that the mayor came to Brooklyn this week and really saw his home borough through the eyes of his commissioners, because we got a lot more work to do. And let's do that together. Thank you so much.
Amen. Thank you, brother. Thank you. So I conclude with saying classic, only in New York moment here, only in Brooklyn, that we have an African-American, an Italian-American, a Mexican-American celebrating a Chinese arch. So isn't that what makes us great?
Yes.
Yeah. Congratulations, everyone.
Before we walk up, Diana, just one, Diana.
So I just wanted to take a moment. My name is Diana Reina, the Deputy Brooklyn Borough President, walking this journey, crisscrossing our borough, representing 2.6 million people, to say congratulations to our Chinese community. The queen of the arch is Winnie Greco, our ambassador of Brooklyn. Borough President Adams had committed to making sure that every country had a voice at Borough Hall. He serves the people by making sure that they have a representative within their community. And so wherever there is a country represented here, it is represented by an ambassador of Brooklyn. And Winnie Greco is the ambassador in Brooklyn for the Chinese community. And so we are thrilled, and I cannot say enough thank yous to the community boards. It was more than one, but you're sitting host to one. It was 7, 10, and 12. And those community board district managers and its members as community board members to embrace such a friendship arch, to understand that we have to be inclusive, that a public involvement process is not judgmental, but rather keeps and remains doors open. This is the symbol of what true immigration policy is all about. This is about a city that welcomes immigrants and its cultures. Borough President Adams has committed to making sure that we embrace our hyphen. I am Dominican American, always have been and always will be, and to understand that we work together closely with so many individuals. I want to just personally thank, you have awesome bureaucrats in city government. Awesome bureaucrats. Today they're awesome bureaucrats, but Nick, who walked us through what was the PDC process, Mayor, I cannot tell you enough how the process is long and lengthy, but it is there to take into consideration the people's voice. And so it works when we keep our hearts and minds open. Today, this is a win for everyone, including the state of New York, under your leadership, Mayor de Blasio. Thank you so much. Be well.
All right. Congratulations, everyone.